Hi there, I'm Joey.
I'm Jacob.
And we are watching Star Trek for the first time. Last time on Star Trek, bugs and fucking awesomeness. It was great.
That was a great episode.
Oh man, love it. Today we're finishing Star Trek The Next Generation Season 1 with our final episode today called The Neutral Zone.
Okay.
Really interesting
title. A lot of things.
But I really want to share something that I learned recently that I need to tell you. It's technically a spoiler, technically. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're about to watch our last episode for a while with Dr. Beverly Crusher.
Oh.
So...
is it like some kind of real world thing where the actress had to leave?
So, she's going to be gone for all of Season 2, and then apparently she'll be back. The wonderful woman that is Gates McFadden apparently was confrontational on the set of Star Trek Next Generation to the point where the showrunner of TNG, Maurice Hurley, apparently fucking fired her for a whole ass season. Absolutely insane. I learned this recently, and I feel like we need to be prepared for that. Yeah, so she was upset. She thought the show had problems, and her character wasn't being treated well, and that the show's kind of sexist in the way the Star Trek kind of is a lot of times. And yeah, this guy heard those complaints, those very valid complaints, and was like, "Okay, you're fired." And apparently, Gates McFadden's future on Star Trek will only be saved by the one and only Gene fucking Roddenberry.
No.
He is apparently the guy that came in and after Season 2 and was like, "Get her the fuck back. What were you thinking?" So yeah, that's what I know. That's what I learned of this recently, and I feel like we need to know this before we watch her final episode for a while.
Is she replaced for Season 2, or is the ship just missing a key character?
I believe there is a replacement. I don't know exactly who it is or who the character is or whatever, but yeah, she comes back, and also apparently Wesley's still on the show throughout Season 2, so I don't know how that's gonna. I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know how that's going to work. But yeah, I think that's important context to know, I think, sort of going into this episode. And,
it is very important context, yes.
Yeah, I feel like I had to share that with you. So, all that said, we're going to get into post-episode thoughts in a second. Be sure to join us then. We're about to watch The Neutral Zone. And with that, Season 1 is complete. Apparently, as I understand, the worst season of The Next Generation, with a solid enough episode.
I'd say it's had a decent bulk of good episodes.
Yeah, I'll say. So this one, it's juggling two very different plots that I feel like don't belong in the same episode.
No, God, no. These should be different episodes.
Even in just the very minor instances in the episode when the plots are interacting, which is literally just past people are present for Romulan things, they just have nothing to do with each other. There's no reason for these things to intersect at all.
The only reason I feel like those these are in the same episode is because we used the Romulan bit to really humble that guy. Make him less of an asshole to the rest of the group.
Even weirder, I'll say, John, I respect you and all, but this is apparently my friend John's third favorite episode of Season 1.
Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting choice. I respect you and all, but really? Whatever. All that said, I did enjoy this. I liked The Neutral Zone for the most part. We got to hear Data say malarkey, which I really appreciated. I thought that was
and a whole bunch of other words that were fun to hear him say.
Jive, I thought I heard in there. That was really fun. But yes, okay. So I'll say the most interesting thing about this episode was that we kind of do a Tomorrow Is Yesterday thing. Or Tomorrow Is Yesterday, the episode where spaceman from the past goes to the future. But we actually because Roddenberry isn't as hands-on with this show as he was with TOS. What we do with our past characters in this one is we actually have them openly criticize and examine Roddenberry's utopian future, which I find really interesting. It is literally, the idea is just we're putting today's audience in this future and examining how they would actually react in it. And you kind of get the full spectrum of it. You have people that just don't care, like Sunny. You have people that are more concerned about their own personal matters, like Claire, and then there are people that are just outright critical of it and just do not want to be in the future, like Ralph. Now, First off, I have to say, I wrote down the actor's name because I was fascinated by him. Peter Mark Richmond plays Ralph Offenhouse. He is just straight up chilling sometimes. Like, he just has some really chilling lines. Specifically when he's like just like squaring off with Picard. I forget exactly. I know the scene it was, but I forget what line it was. Where I wrote down the notes. He's just really chilling. He's really really good. I love him. Alternatively, I didn't write down his name, but the dude that plays Sonny is fucking hilarious. I love him so much.
I loved him, especially his incidental music is phenomenal.
He plays some yeehaw music, and then it becomes incidental music for scenes that he's in, which is so weird. I love it.
It's around this time too, when like after we've discovered like who they are after they've all been woken up and are in their future clothes, which look really comfy.
Yeah.
They make the bold choice to say the industry of TV will die out around 2040.
Fascinating idea. Wrong. Definitely wrong. Fascinating
wrong.
Idea, which is also really funny. And again, also I think this is a matter of Star Trek's utopian future being compared to other speculative future stories, which are usually dystopian stories, in that often the idea is that TV will evolve to a point of it being a drawback of society rather than a benefit to it. And so in Star Trek's utopian future, TV is done with anyway, which I really like that juxtaposition. I think that's really interesting. We also have there's something else I want to bring up here. Okay, but about Sonny, I fucking love his last line where he's not like his last line, but it's like his last scene, and he's like, "Well, I'm in the future. I can make the most of it. Nobody knows all my past mistakes, so I can just do what I want." And I said to you at that point, I was like, "Is he just a criminal? Like what? What is happening? What is happening here?"
Like, yeah, we had the same kind of reaction. We're like, what does that mean?
Are you just a criminal? What did you do? Why are you concerned about people knowing what you did in the past? I also found Claire to be a really interesting character. I really liked her. She's focused on finding out like what her sons did in life, which I really loved that idea. And then
I liked. I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I really liked that she had the very real personal problem, like just talking to Dana, like wanting to know what happened to her kids. She had a very hard not talking about them, like they were still 5 and 8.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Because she's like, this one's 8 and this one is 5. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I really like that. And then I love the scene where it ends with Troy like showing her eventual great whatever however many times grandson, and she's like, oh, that's my husband. It's like, no, that is your great however many times grandson. You can meet him. And I really love that. It actually, you know, I worded it weirdly early on, but really this is the 3 stages of the 3 different versions of accepting the future. There is immediate acceptance, there is learning to accept, and there is denial that we have across the spectrum here. Claire is kind of sort of learning to embrace what she has here. It's really, really interesting, really fascinating idea. Really cool. I also just kind of like the idea that these people were cryogenically frozen after their deaths, and modern medicine, 24th century medicine, was able to bring them back to life in a weird way.
Like Beverly says, she's like, they're minor problems.
Yeah.
To her, they're like, oh, just minor heart issue, minor embolism.
Yeah. Really, really cool stuff. Also, while you bring up Beverly, this being her last episode for a while, poor Gates McFadden gets slapped on the ass by Sonny, and I'm just I can't help but applaud her for getting away from this for like 22 episodes straight.
Hopefully stronger writing on that end.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk Romulans, because they're technically in this episode. They're in a whole ass scene, which I really appreciate them actually finally showing up.
We could say that, and that is true of more than most of the Star Trek we've watched.
Yes. So they're here mostly just to establish that they're going to be a more regular part of the Star Trek universe going forward, because their outposts are being attacked and they want to find out what it's all about. And they're like, "We are back," and they do the whole John Wick, I'm thinking I'm back. And so they're here. They're here to stay, and I guess we're just gonna see them a lot more going forward. I don't know why that deserved that. That was such an important plot point that we named the episode after the neutral zone. It's it's a little weird. I don't know.
This in the last episode set up some plot points that are clearly going to be followed. I do.
Yeah. God, imagine if they aren't. Oh, terrible. But all that said, I think that was The Next Generation Season 1. And I think next time we're going to get into Season 2. And that feels weird as hell. But I'm still excited. Still very excited. I'm excited to... I think Season 2 is when a lot of fans would say the show starts getting good, which I'm very excited about. Even though I did enjoy a fair few episodes in Season 1.
This was not a bad season, necessarily.
Yeah, I did see on Paramount...
It had some duds, for sure.
Oh yeah, I did see on Paramount Plus. Riker has a beard in the next episode, and I believe it is, from what I understand, it is the fan consensus that Riker's beard signifies the show getting good, which I find really funny. But yeah, I guess we'll find out though. So be sure to join us next time when we continue Star Trek: The Next Generation. Until then, this has been Joey Morgan.
I'm Jacob.
Goodbye.